Welcome to part one of setting up the shoutout. I want to separate these two videos into a part one and part two because there's two aspects of creating the actual Instagram shoutout. There's the post, which I'm considering the picture, right? The actual picture you're seeing on the Instagram account, as well as that you could post on the story because those are different sizes. And as you're going to see here momentarily, there's two different ways we're going to be structuring those. Just a slight difference, but it is something worth mentioning. Now, in the next one, we're going to be talking about the actual caption we're going to use, so don't worry about that right now. I do want to just outline something. We're using a tool inside of here. It's a completely free website. I mentioned it back in module 1, I believe. We're just talking about things that you're going to be needing down the road. That's coming into use right now. It's a completely free beginner-friendly website called Canva. You're going to see that here momentarily, exactly how to build it and how to use it to create your actual post. Okay, there's a few things I want to talk about as we go through. I'm just going to put, let's say, I'm going to upload a necklace inside of here. We're going to start going through and giving you guys an example. If you go to Canva's homepage website, you'll be able to click Instagram post off of all the different social media types of posts. They have Facebook, Twitter, or like different Facebook banners, posts, like all these different sizes of stuff. Go to the actual Instagram post. I believe it's 1080 by 1080. Click on that. I obviously can't go back and show you guys that because I have a ton of different products already created. But click on the Instagram post and then you can upload a picture in here with the upload button. So I'm going to do that right now and then I'm going to show you all this. Okay, so now that this is inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and size it. You're going to be able to position it where you want. Now, some aren't going to have a white background on white like this, so it might not be as simple. This one, as you can see, you have the chain links up top, so we have to make sure that it's being cut off. We'll center it a little bit, maybe make it a little bit bigger. And the biggest thing I'm doing inside of here and that I want to really convey to you is how we're placing the text, because I see a lot of people going overboard. There's like, oh, you know, they're saying 1995, free shipping. They're giving a whole paragraph right down here in the corner in like 0.1 font explaining what it is. That's not how you want to structure it. Simple always wins. You want a simple, high quality photo. That's always going to win the race. I can't stress enough that you just want to slowly pique their interest, because if you think about it logically, the Instagram post itself is stage one in what's a mini funnel in my opinion. It's bringing people through different stages of the process. The first being the post. What's that supposed to do? What's this right here supposed to do when you scroll on your Instagram feed and you see it? Bam! It's supposed to interest you. Wow, that's a good looking necklace. And based off what's on the picture, you're going to see it here in a second, the writing I'm going to add, it's going to tell them just what it is. What it is, get them interested, and hook them enough to the point where they're going to go read the caption, right, which is part 2 of this little series inside of here. And from there, it's going to go to the product description on your website. So it's the 3-step process inside of there that you have to take people through. So just think about that as we're going through and creating this, because it's not random how we're structuring it. Alright, so using Canva, I'm going to show you guys just how to set this up. We're going to talk about the rest of this here in a second. Hit the text button over on the left. I personally like to take a subheading, and you're going to have to move it around depending on what type of product it is, what the colors are. You want to make sure it's a contrasting color. Same thing as on your website. If you're putting text on a picture, you have to make sure that you can read it very easily. So with a white background, that's going to be super simple. We're going to go, and this is the same structure I'm using for almost every single product. Let's assume we're doing a free plus shipping on Instagram for this one. Ready? Free necklace. Okay, so we have that right there. We'll make it slightly big. Now, there's a lot of room. Obviously, I could go like this and make it, 55, make it huge. I don't want to do that. I personally don't like it that big. It just doesn't look as clean, as professional, or as sleek, whatever you want to call it. So kind of figure out what feels good for you, what's the good space. I like to have it centered a little bit. So we're going to go like that. Okay, free necklace. And then watch, we're going to go to elements over here on the left and hit lines. You can kind of take whichever one you want. I personally like one of these two right here on the top row. So we'll just pull this and you'll be able to change the color, so don't worry about that. We'll make sure it's centered. And if you actually click on the line, you'll be able to use the arrow keys on your computer to just move it very slightly so you can get it in the perfect position. Now, I'm going to change the color because that doesn't read too well. It also doesn't stand out very much. So we're going to go, black's a little basic. Let's try red. And again, there's no shame in jumping around and moving things. So you're going to see that. We're just going to tweak it as we go. That, make sure it's centered. Bing, bang, boom. We'll take this one, which is actually the body of text below it. And I am going to change the font on this one. And I'm going to go today only. So if you guys recall, we talked about there's two different types of things you can use, the different biases. There's both scarcity as well as urgency. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down for you. Scarcity and urgency. Scarcity is quantity, right? Remember that? Scarcity is exactly how many products are left. That's like saying, okay, there's only 15 available. That's scarcity. Urgency, on the other hand, is like, oh, there's only 3 hours. Or in this case, today only, that you'll see right here. So you have to use one or the other, and that has to be congruent with your ad copy. So you can split test between the two and see which one works best, but pick one and don't try and use both in the same ad. So we're gonna go through. Actually, this font looks good, so we'll make this a little bit bigger here. Today only, and we're gonna change this into red. Now, I don't really want to have red, a red text and a red line. That doesn't look too good in my opinion. But at the same time, you don't want to have a lot of different colors. So we're just going to put it in black. I think that looks clean. Black is always a safe bet. Make this slightly bigger. And if you see what I'm doing, you see where these are capitalized. First of all, these two words have a capitalized first letter, but diagonally. These are diagonal to each other, free and only. And I'm using an exclamation point. You have to get them excited. But if you guys just take 2 seconds to look at how I'm structuring this, what does this say? Free necklace today only. What information does that give you? What did I just talk about 3 minutes ago? You have to give them enough information to the point where they know what it is. They know that this is a free necklace and it's today only. They're informed. Now from that, they can make a decision, oh, this necklace, it's free, today only. That should be enough if they're actually qualified and interested. Not necessarily qualified, but if they're genuinely interested, they'll read the caption. From there, they can proceed to your website and do the call to action. So that's one way to structure it. That's one way you want to really, really keep this focused. Now, I'm going to show you the second variation. These are the two main ones that I'm doing inside of this post. Just remember this. This is one. I'm going to screenshot it and save it real fast. This is number one. Okay? And actually what I wrote down here, make 2 posts. Now, you might be like, oh, I just made this. It's so amazing. Let me use this. Cool. Completely switch it and make another one before you run anything, test anything, because you're naturally biased. Right now, if you made this, you think it looks good because you made it. You want to be proud of it. I'm just going to be honest with you. So if you can immediately make 2 different types of posts where they're very different, and I'm going to show you a second one here in a second, then you can really make a decision. Hey, all right, this one looks better than the other, and you're going to have to make a decision. At that point, you're solely going based off what works best, and you're just giving yourself more of an option. So I've had times where I make a post, it looks good, you know, it really does, but at the end of the day, I make another, and it looks a lot better. And I'm like, wow, had I not done that, I wouldn't have had this amazing post. So it's just something to think about. Spend a few minutes to make it, but we're going to delete this right here, and I'm going to show you the second way to do this. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller, and you'll see why here in a second. We will move this to the center. I'm really a big fan of having everything centered. Maybe that's just my OCD. Maybe that's because it looks better. But take this bar, this other one right here on the top left, and we're going to put it down here. We'll make it a little bit, we'll make it bigger so we can write on it. Perfect. And we're actually going to change the color. Black looks all right. There's a couple variants you could do of each. So these are the 2 fully different structures. Under those 2 main structures, you can have more structures. So I'm going to explain what that is here in a second. Let me just show you. Pull this, put this on here. Obviously, you can't read it because it's black on black text. We're going to go white. Free necklace today only. Boom. Again, same text, same type of offer. It's explaining what it is, and we're going to change the font here in a second. A few of the ones that look good. Troshi is all right. This one's good. Alio, or Alio, however you say it. Anton is good if you have it in all capitals. All the letters are capitals. But we'll try this one and see how it looks. I want to make sure it's not too spread out, where it's a little bit taller, just so it fits in there, and we can make it bold. And we'll go, let's go 48. So this is a clean way to have it. Okay, boom. That's one. It doesn't pop too much. It's not too little. You can always mess with the color. The only color I recommend you really avoid using is something like a little bit off the typical scale, like a weird green or a weird yellow, like a mustard. I personally don't like orange very much. I like to stick to kind of blue, which is comfortability and confidence. When it comes to like the whole color situation, just behind their ideals. So if you think about, actually you can do the research on this, just Google what colors people react to psychologically and in what different ways. That's huge when it comes to sales. Like if you go look at these different big brands, Walmart, Target, Amazon, the way that they're structuring their colors is not random. So you already saw that when we went and built out your website and optimized it, the different colors are going to be huge along the process. So that's why I kind of like to stick to blue, which is more like makes them feel safe. They trust you. Red is urgency, like take action now, go, 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 limited time. You know, that's the whole urgency and scarcity vibe. Then I like to use white and black because that's just always a safe bet. So you could go like this, free necklace today only, it's in red, make it pop. And this is what I was talking about the two different sub variants you can make. You could put this whole thing in red and then put the text in white or in black if you want. I wouldn't do two crazy colors on top of it. See, like that, boom. You can make a couple different variations of this, but this overall is how you're creating the post. Test by putting it kind of, I put it in the product right there, in the necklace. You could put it off to the side. You could do the banner on the top or the bottom. That's up to you. That's how you want to structure it. It's simple. You could always go for the whole meme vibe. If you guys have ever seen a meme Instagram influencer where it has a bar on the bottom and the top, we can do that too. Watch, you pull a bar and you can put it on the top. If it loads in here, yeah, we'll make it a little bit bigger. And then you could say up top, free necklace, and down below, today only. Or tag someone who would want this necklace. Something like that. It's completely up to you what you want to say. Just make sure that's congruent with your ad copy, which is what we're going to be talking about here in the next video. That's a couple of different ways you can structure your post. Again, it's really not that hard. It's super simple, but it's very important because this is the make or break of whether they're even going to read your ad copy. Are they even going to get to your site? Are they going to show more interest? Are you going to get that lead with their email once they're starting to go through the checkout process? That's all dependent on how good the initial shout out post is. That's super important. So definitely focus on that, start making a few different variants and see what performs best for you. But jump on over to part 2 and we're going to be making the caption.